Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Monday night, and you know what that means. It's time for your weekly WWE Monday Night Raw Event Center report. And now here is the man to give you that report, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans 1977, episode 1792 of the show. And Raw just ended just now. We're going to talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw. And this is the fallout from Crown Jewel Part 1. You know Part 2 will be on SmackDown. And I'll give you little programming notes afterwards here. Okay, so we're going to kick it off. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Dominic Mysterio kick off Monday Night Raw. Liv Morgan gloating that she defeated Nia Jax, become the first ever WWE Women's Crown Jewel Champion. Now, the reason why the belts are going to be left behind is because they're going to be at the WWE Experience in Ridyah, Saudi Arabia. That's why the belts are not going back to the States. So instead, like I said, Liv Morgan will receive a ring, like Cody Rhodes did, to celebrate. So. So Liv Morgan, talked about how she took out, her and Raquel took out Rhea Ripley at NXT last week and decided that she's the greatest women's champion of all time. But then here comes Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair saying that we have not forgotten what you did to us, and we can finish it off right now. They're about to go at it until Adam Pearce goes, we're not going to do it this way. In fact, there was an idea, and she goes, and in fact, Adam Pearce goes, you know what? We're going to have a new number one contenders match, and we're going to do it in a battle royal. And since what you did to Rhea Ripley is disgusting, you think there's no number one contender? Guess again. So, you know what the fun part about the women's battle royal? Cargill and Belair are going to be in it, and everybody else in it, and the match was happening right now. Now the women's number one contender. Now, remember that Raw takes place in Ridyah, Saudi Arabia, for the very first time, and in the number one contenders battle royal, Bianca Belair and Cargill, Damage Controls, Kairi Sane, Io Sky, the Pure Fusion Collectives, Zoe Stark, Sonya Deville, and Shayna Baszler. The Unholy Unions, Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, Ivy Nile, Maxine Dupree, the party starters, Kane Carter, Katana Chance, Lara Valkyria, Zelina Vega, and Natalia. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez were watching the match, but they got involved. It was down to the final four between Io Sky, Lara Valkyria, and the women's tag team champs. And the women's tag team champs actually helped eliminate got eliminated with the help of the women's tag team champions. And then when Belair and Cargill realized what happened to them and who was responsible, they decided to chase Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan out of the arena. It was down between Lyra Valkyria and Io Sky, and we have a new women's number one contender for the women's world title, and that will be Io Sky. And like I said before, with Io Sky now stepping up for Rhea Ripley, if Io Sky wins this title, she will be added to the elite list of women who are already Grand Slam champions. All four horsewomen of the WWE, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Bayley, Grand Slam champions. Rhea Ripley, a Grand Slam champion, and so is Asuka. Io Sky could be the seventh woman to pull that off if she defeats Liv Morgan and becomes the WWE Women's World Champion. That is something to consider, to say the least. Kathy Kelly interviewed a New Day, and they had their match against the War Raiders, and then they started arguing about last week's matchup. And then, as they were arguing, the Wyatt Six interrupted them with a video footage where the Miz was held hostage. Miz says, "Listen, I can get you want Final Testament. That's all you want. You want Final Testament. I'm not part of Final Testament. I don't want." and he was getting scared out of his mind. But then Bo Dallas shows up because they didn't want Final Testament made the Light 6. They wanted The Miz. This is what The Miz turned his back on R-Truth. That's all this started. So The Miz, I wonder how Karrion Kross feels about that. We'll find out as we go around here. The New Day took on the War Raiders in a matchup, and the match was going good until a little miscommunication by the New Day, and the War Raiders picked up the victory to continue their momentum as #1 contenders to the World Tag Team titles held by the Judgment Day's Finn Balor and J.D. McDonough. I get a hunch that somewhere down the line, you see Big E making appearances in these PLE events as an analyst. I get a hunch that somewhere down the line, Big E is going to make his return to actual WWE television and confront these two, confront his New Day brethren, and we'll find out. I believe Xavier Ward's trying to harken back to the days when they first formed, when he told Kofi Kingston, Big E, hey, we're sick and tired of shaking hands, kissing babies. We got to do and earn respect. We got to take. We can't wait for more. We no longer want to wait for it. We have to take it. And I think Xavier Ward is trying to go back to those times. And I think Kofi, Kofi's got his second thoughts about this. We'll find out when and if that's going to go down between, if and when that's going to go down between the two. We'll find out for sure. Sami Zayn decided to address the Ridyah crowd about what happened this past Saturday with Roman Reigns and the Usos. Jey Uso interrupts Sami Zayn, asks Zayn if it was an accident, and then Jey Uso interrupts Jey and Zayn and said, hey, listen, he did it on purpose and all that, and he said, then Jey decided, hey, why don't you come to SmackDown? All four of us we'll talk and hash it out, because you are family. So maybe Jey Uso knows and knows for sure that they're still outnumbered by the 2.0 bloodline 4-3. They need Sami Zayn. We'll find out what happens this Friday night. This Friday night comes on SmackDown, and Jackie Redmond interviewed Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins says he's determined to be the #1 contenders for the world title, and he says he's trying to move on from Bronson Reed. When he says Bronson Reed comes as advertised, he did Bronson Reed some props. Dragon Lee was Zelina Vega in his corner, took on Chad Gable with Ivy Nile. This was a heck of a matchup, but Dragon Lee ended up winning the match against Chad Gable. Jackie Redmond interviewed Imperium, and Gunther was talking about who would, he says that Cody Rhodes was the better man, and Ludwig Kaiser probably doesn't feel comfortable. What's going on there? Who knows for sure? Then he's giving props to Seth Rollins, Sheamus, and Damian Priest, and he says 3 of the best, and Dominic Mysterio, which I thought was pretty funny too. So he says he'll find out who would be the best. Then the main event, the Fatal 4-Way matchup. Seth Rollins, Sheamus versus Damian Priest versus Dominic Mysterio. Reminder, there is no disqualifications in this Fatal 4-Way matchup. That's why Bronson Reed is able to get involved, goes after Rollins during the matchup, and then he decided to go after, Sheamus and Priest do delivering tsunamis. Meanwhile, Dominic Mysterio did the smart thing, was to hide around and to take cover and wait until, and then Bronson Reed walked away, did his job, and then Dominic Mysterio decided to take advantage because with Priest and Sheamus in the ring, he did deliver a frog splash. Sheamus meant to go get the 3 count, but Priest stops it. But then Priest took advantage, south of heaven chokeslam, 1, 2, 3. Damian Priest will get his rematch against Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. Meanwhile, Gunther confronts Priest after the matchup and the two had a standoff. Now, you got to remember, bear in mind, too, Finn Balor wants a piece of Damian Priest. So, if I were Finn Balor, I would wait. I would wait till Priest wins the title, then you can go after that could be your best bet. But I know Balor's one half of the tag team champs with J.D. McDonough. So I'm sure they'll be waiting back at stateside for that. So we'll see. We shall see what happens. Some programming notes. We know tomorrow we'll still have Trebek Tuesday at a regular day, Tuesday. But NXT is not going to be on the CW tomorrow because of the presidential election and everything else going down. It is moved to Wednesday, where they'll place the South Swanson Street at 2300 ECW, the old ECW Arena. That's right, where NXT will take place there. And ECW originals like Bubba Ray Dudley he'll team up with Trick Williams against the team of Ethan Page and Reg Holland. Also, a women's hardcore matchup, Lola Vice versus Jada Parker. Dawn Marie, an ECW original, will be special guest referee in the matchup. Also, rumor has it that Nunzio may take on Tony D'Angelo after hearing Nunzio on the voice call on Tony D'Angelo's phone. But then also on X, Francine, ECW Vixen original. The lovely Francine will be there. What role is she going to play there? Who knows? And RVD, Rob Van Dam's going to be there. Who knows for sure? Tune in Wednesday. I know they're going to go head-to-head with AEW Dynamite. So, that's all the time we have on episode 1792 of the show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And also, once again, congratulations to both of the Sopas. They just did their 300th episode. Gentlemen, Romy, Gary, Alex Austin, guys, congratulations once again. And you did a great job. Funny episode, one of the best. So, that's it for now. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.